What's going on, Dope fam? Back with another video. Hope you guys have been doing well. I'll be doing a Bitcoin market analysis today as usual, be covering the implications of today's monthly close. We closed it about 2.5 hours ago above the major support level at about 93.2k. I'll be going through the implications of that and what I think will happen for the short term and long term. When it comes to today's base native coin of the day, it's OKAYEG. I just thought to return the favor to you guys because the OKA community has been super loud and constantly commenting down in my YouTube comments as well as my X page. So I thought to return the favor. I will be doing a TA analysis on OKAeg and my thoughts around the project. And yeah, so let's get right into it. First of all, I'm Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages. And a little introduction to me. I do a lot of Bitcoin market analysis on my YouTube as well as covering base native coins every day. And I also have little starter pack kind of videos where I cover a lot of base native coins I really like and purchase myself. And same with my X and CoinMarketCap. So be sure to like and subscribe and follow those pages. But let's get right into it. First of all, for Bitcoin, we had that monthly close just about 2.5 hours ago. And as you can see, 93k has been a major resistance point the past few months. And it's looking like we've had a confirmation above it, which is really good to see. What I really like to see for the foreseeable future now is hold this as support. As you can see, we're actually having multiple daily closes above, which is good to see. And my base case, for short term at least, is to have a spike up to the 100k, maybe even just pass briefly to 100k, and then have a major flush from the late longers. Reason being is, seasonality wise, I really think early to mid-May is going to be a higher low, and I do expect a dip to happen. But when it comes to just my hunch and why I think we probably have another move upwards, there's a few reasons why, but I guess one reason is Elliott wave theory. When we have that fifth wave up, it will confirm that we're actually in a reversal, and purely based on seasonality and what I think around the liquidations as well as open interest and what we can expect out of May, we can expect a new high close for May as well as a higher low. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how the news around Trump's tariffs goes. But it's looking quite good, especially with Bitcoin actually retesting the 93k level once again as of I think about 12 hours ago. Yeah, so we had GDP numbers release. It was about 12 hours ago, and we had a major flush to the downside, retest that 93k area again, and looks like we're going back up. So what we'd like to see here is break above this range high. As you can see, that's a range high, range low. Ideally, we see a breakout, even a retest, and even a continuation. So my base case is we break up to the upside. Another reason why is generally every time you head into accumulation range, if you enter from underneath, you're more likely to actually continue upwards because that's just the general direction you went in. So when it comes to probabilities, we are more likely to actually break above this range. When it comes to higher time frame technical analysis, I'll just whip out the RSI indicator. As you can see, we're having bullish absorption right now, which is really good to see. And just give you a reminder, guys, bullish absorption is generally a hidden bullish divergence. So as you can see, we're having lower highs and lower lows on the RSI, but we're actually making higher lows on the price. So this is really good to see. Let me just quickly draw it out too. So you got that higher low, higher low, higher low. And if we go to the RSI, lower low, lower low, lower low. So really good to see. The market is resetting. And what we would like to see from here now is a break above to the upside for the 4-hour RSI. Little retest, ideally, and then break out from there. And then that will most likely mean we have broken above that range high, retested it, and then continued on for the remainder of this week. And then my expectation is still to get a higher low after that. And ideally, we get to that 100k range because that would mean a 10% retracement from that 100k area only puts us around, let me see, it's 100k, 10% puts us around the 90k area. Worst case, I would say, is probably the 89k to retest. So let's get that fifth wave move up from the lows. Let's get that confirmation in that the 75k region was the low for this macro low, and then we can continue on and do a doubling from that low price. So obviously, when it comes to the doubling, and the reason why I think we are going to have a doubling is generally every time this bull cycle we've made a macro low, we've doubled from that low. So my next target price is 150k area, and due to a multiple number of reasons, the weekly RSI breaking out, the fifth wave move about to be complete, and a few other reasons, I do think that this doubling in price will probably most likely be the final leg to this bull cycle. Obviously I'll be showing you guys and looking at the charts closely to relay if we're going to have another leg up, but my base case has always been Bitcoin will most likely top out at the 150k region. But let's see how it goes. Ideally, I'm obviously I would rather us have another leg up higher, because there is other charts that suggest that, but I want to relay you what I'm seeing, and I guess waiting for a leg up after the 150k, I can't really see that as of now. Let's just get that 150k leg up first. So ideally, it looks like something like this, where we have a scam wick up above 100k, have a little retrace, fake out below that 93k region, and then make our way up at the later end of this year. So when it comes to the total coin market cap, still looking good. We had that monthly close, obviously, for the total coin market cap. It was a higher high, and we're having a lot of daily closes above our higher high for the daily and 4 hourly. So as you can see, that was our lower high previously. We've actually made a higher high, and we're just missing a lower low. Liquidations, we had a lot of liquidations. We had liquidations at 327 million, which was 66% more than the previous day. We're having quite a bit of build up at the lower end at 93k, but if I switch to 48-hour time frame, we actually have a lot of liquidations above us, which actually could be the fuel to the fire to actually break above this range high. Because as you can see, at the 95.8k region, we have a lot of liquidations. And let's see if we get that push up this week, because in my opinion, it's looking quite good, especially with that hidden bullish divergence on the lower time frames. Open interest, nothing to note of. Looks like the same thing as usual. Long short ratio, it's interesting to see we actually had our first green tick over. So it looks like the market has been reset enough, and most likely we're probably going to eventually flip to the green side, which means the market has gone 50-50 on long short ratios, probably on the higher time frame soon. So I do expect probably by the time we get to end of this week, we're probably going to start flipping green, and then let's see where that goes. Maybe we start consolidating, and that would mean the leg up higher is actually going to be starting. For Ethereum, looking really good. We had that retest on that macro downtrend, as you can see here. Arbitrary squiggle line is still in play. We had that little retest once again on that macro line, and what we'd like to see here is a continuation upside, and our line in the sand for the Ethereum bottom to be in is definitely get some closes above the 2200 region. If we get above that, it'll be really bullish for our altcoins, especially our base native coins, because it would just cause a massive house money effect from Ethereum into the base chain. Okay, so next up with the video is tweets. First tweet by TechDev: blue equals every Bitcoin top, green equals every parabolic inflection. As you can see, we've had that green circle, and every time we've had that green circle, the upside potential for Bitcoin and the leg up is basically imminent. And I do expect the same for Bitcoin, especially because we've actually grinded for a bit. So we just have to wait for it to really turn up parabolic, and then we can expect that parabolic move to the upside for Bitcoin, which will most likely be that move to 150k. Next tweet is by Astronomer. This is around Ethereum. So yep, and that sentiment is not to be underestimated. Anyone remember how much we are going lower guaranteed there was into the low? Bullish, and after Bitcoin, now ETH has bottom too. So when it comes to that, he thinks the bottom is in for Ethereum. In my opinion, that confirmation won't be done until we get above that major support level. And let's see how that goes. I do, obviously my bias is towards Ethereum actually breaking out and making new all-time highs this bull cycle. But we have not seen that confirmation yet. Let's get that confirmation above, especially because breaking down below this range low will just confirm this whole downturn was a deviation, and then most likely we get back in this range and then consolidate higher, and then we definitely want to break above that range high and then break out from there. So looking very good for Ethereum. We just need more time for Ethereum to accumulate and get back in that range. Next tweet is by Income Sharks. So this is for the stock market. Stock daily gap has been getting filled. Daily gap still exists lower. Imagine the pain as people pour in this week or next week, then we go back down. Personally, I don't think we're going to go back down as much as people think. I think we're just going to have another retest. So maybe the remainder of this week is actually green, and then next week we have a good decent flush into that trend line to make a higher low, and then we can consolidate and go back from there. So let's see how that goes. But to be honest, when it comes to the stock market, like we had a negative GDP reading, and we pretty much reversed the whole dump during those first hours for the stock market, which is really good to see. And it just seems like the bulls are in control as of now, and I don't really expect a massive flush, especially because like getting a negative GDP reading is quite a bit of like, it's pretty bad news. And when you think of the markets dumping, you sort of have to find something that is worse than negative GDP numbers. So obviously if there's war happening or something, that would probably be worse than negative GDP numbers. We just had the mineral deal with the US and Ukraine as of today. So it's looking quite good when it comes to conflicts between US and Ukraine, and even possibly with Russia and Ukraine. So hopefully what happens is we get that retest of a lower low, and who knows, maybe Ukraine and Russia gets that confirmation that the war is off, and that could be a like real last little catalyst where we actually have another leg up to this bull cycle. Alright, so next part of the video is the base native coin of the day. Today's coin is OKAYEG. First of all, none of this is financial advice, this is just my opinion, and I'm just relaying what I see on the charts. When it comes to OKAYEG, personally, I'm not invested in the coin. I'm just covering it for you guys because I've had a lot of requests in the comments. And yeah, so when it comes to that, OKAYEG is just a nice little meme coin on base chain. The community is really strong, to be honest. It's sort of like cultish-like, which is what you'd like to see with meme coins. It's got a lot of like pretty good engagement for the market cap. So it pretty much like suggests to me maybe it's possibly undervalued because pretty much every post gets really good engagement, and they just have a bunch of raiders and a lot of mind share when it comes on X according to its market cap. But nonetheless, when it comes to the charts, I want to show you guys the charts because the charts do not lie. And what I'm seeing here, it's actually a decent bullish setup. It just needs more time to consolidate. So as you can see, when it comes to like my line in the sand and deadline for a breakout, this chart sort of looks like Keycat's chart that I covered yesterday. So as you can see, it's had massive spikes to the upside, and it's been retesting that, I guess say we can call it a pennant. And ideally what we'd like to see is a breakout above this pennant. And as you can see too, the daily RSI has been consolidating the pretty much past month right now. And what we'd like to see is definitely a breakout above this pennant and then continuation. So when it comes to that, we want to support, we want to create support and do not break our support levels. So definitely our support level, major support level and line in the sand is this trend line here. I do not want to break below this because this just means OKAYEG probably needs way more time to accumulate to make new highs. And ideally what happens here is this continuation setup where we actually break above this pennant and then have some nice upside potential there. So when it comes to catalysts and indicators that this will most likely break out to the upside, I want to see this daily RSI break out to the upside. So it's looking like it's actually curling down and probably needs a bit more time this month to accumulate. And then ideally what happens is we break out, retest, and then go ahead for the next leg up for OKAYEG, because it just means there's a lot of buying absorption, there's seller exhaustion as well, and most likely a leg up is imminent for OKAYEG. So the recap for OKAYEG is basically it needs more time to accumulate. Probably how much time does it need? It needs about, to be honest, it's not that long, about 27 days, and I'm expecting a decent move by then to happen for OKAYEG, just on the basis that it's been in this massive like wedging formation since May of last year. Obviously, this coin TG'd back in April 2024, so I would call this an OG based native meme coin, and these kind of coins have had massive accumulation ranges, which is really good. Its all-time high is 23 mil, and generally because this coin has been around, there is a lot of resistance levels to respect. So I will definitely say the next resistance level to uncover is this about 3.6 mil area, and then the 8 mil area, and then our last massive resistance before that all-time high is definitely the 12 mil area. So I want to get above all these levels, but nonetheless, short-term wise, we want to definitely get above this wedging formation, and also the daily RSI curls above and makes new highs for that seller exhaustion to be confirmed. But that's all to the video, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe. Comment down below if you guys want me to cover any other base native coins. I'm always going through the comments and noting down what coins to cover. I'm only covering one a day, So just give me time because I'll be covering all the coins you guys are commenting down in the comments. But that's all to the video, guys. Peace.